Jordan Peterson recently claimed that pride is a sin, both pride in the gay sense and pride itself. Jordan Peterson seems to have become increasingly unhinged, and this moronic claim is part of that apparent mental decay. The idea that pride is a sin is not, however, the creation of Jordan Peterson's decaying mind. This idea is not exactly new. Pride is of course one of the 7 deadly sins. The 7 irrational dogmas intended to enslave the human will. If they had any rational authority, they lost it when they founded their sovereignty in the words of a text which sold its reason in favour of faith. The Bible does not speak particularly fondly of pride. Pride is not sin because nothing is sin. When you found your moral claims upon a divine power that you cannot prove, you render your moral claims baseless. The master of the irrational mind they may be. To the rational mind, however, their worth begins and ends at the amusement that is triggered by their idiocy. But is pride immoral? Is pride wrong? Is pride evil? First, one must define what pride actually is. Pride describes a deep satisfaction, fulfillment, and pleasure derived from one's achievements and accomplishments. I can conceive of no rational secular argument in favour of labelling this as immoral. It is no wonder that the enemies of pride are so reliant on religious dogma and irrationality. Dogma and irrationality are the masters of the irrational mind, the flimsy substitutes filling in for a non-existent rational argument. Substitutes that get all of their authority from entirely unsubstantiated claims of divine backing. No rational secular argument against pride has yet occurred to me. I can conceive of a handful of arguments to the opposite effect. Pride has immense value as a force that can encourage good behaviour by rewarding it with happiness and fulfillment. Pride can make people's lives more satisfactory, fulfilling, and enjoyable. Pride has a massive value as a force for improving people's self-worth and therefore happiness. Pride can massively strengthen people's personal identities. Those who have struggled can recover from their struggles by taking pride in the accomplishment of weathering them. Pride is not inherently good. Obviously, taking pride in being a sadist or something of the sort would be bad. But pride is not inherently bad. It can be a force of great good. It can help encourage good behaviour and help people live satisfactory, fulfilling lives. In an attempt to make a rational argument, one evidently insecure Christian posits that pride generates selfishness, as people value themselves more than others, and put themselves before others. This argument has flaws. What if one is proud of their kindness and caring nature? The thought of this generating selfishness is inconceivable. Pride in such things will surely make them stronger than ever, and make the individual in question further from selfishness than ever before. Pride can amplify any component of one's being. If one is proud of their cruelty will surely be amplified. If one is proud of their kindness will surely be amplified. If one is proud of their selfishness will surely be amplified. If one is proud of their selflessness will surely be amplified. Pride can amplify harmful things, but it can also amplify good things. Claiming that pride is inherently evil because it always leads to selfishness is idiotic. There is no necessary and inherent connection between pride and selfishness. If one is proud of one's selflessness, kindness, or compassionate and caring nature, not only will selfishness not follow, it will be kept more distant than it ever could be in an individual lacking such pride. The reality is that selfishness can exist without pride, and most importantly, pride can exist without selfishness. One will find that most condemnation of pride is born out of religious irrationality. One will find it difficult to come up with a reasoned secular case against something that there is no reasonable secular case against. Pride is something that can have great value, and rational actors should defend it. Pride is irrationally desirable. Allowing people to take great pride in their best achievements and great accomplishments will help to encourage these desirable things. If people are allowed and encouraged to feel pleasure, fulfillment, and satisfaction with themselves after doing good things, they will do those good things more often. The Christian religion would prefer that those who do good things and achieve great things feel self-hatred at any suggestion of such pleasure, fulfillment, and satisfaction. Such feelings are, after all, sin. Rewarding satisfaction, fulfillment, and pleasure generated by great achievements and moral accomplishments with threats of fire and brimstone is not a very good way of encouraging great achievements and moral accomplishments. The exposure of such irrationality is sure to mean little to the followers of a worldview that is characterized by intense irrationality. This opposition to pride is beyond troublesome. Self-appreciation and satisfaction with oneself are labelled as a vice. The very concept of self-worth is criminalized by the ultimate sovereign. The preacher and the propagandist fight tooth and nail to maintain humanity's self-hatred of itself. If the Christian religion is built on anything, it is built on the deepest kind of self-hatred. Humanity is predisposed towards sin. Humanity exhibits a tendency for sin. Humanity is inherently evil. We are all born sinners. Guilt, shame, and self-hatred are cornerstones of the belief system. There are sects which dissent, but by and large, the Christian religion is defined by an endless and insatiable appetite for humanity's guilt, shame, and self-hatred. It is no wonder that pride is condemned and regarded as evil by a force which demands guilt and self-hatred. Self-worth becomes confident immorality. Fulfillment and satisfaction with oneself becomes fulfillment and satisfaction with sin. The concept of original sin eagerly demands guilt and self-hatred. Humans are supposed to be ashamed of being humans, the followers of a religion of self-hatred. A religion that will sap them of self-worth before imposing its demand of complete subservience upon them. The ultimate autocrat softens up his victims with self-hatred, ensuring their unquestioning submission. One does not so much as ask a question when one is overcome with self-hatred, guilt, and shame. People should work to be versions of themselves that they should be proud of. They should not be weak and self-hating as the Christian religion wants them to be. The idea that pride is a sin is born out of Christian irrationality, the end goal of which is a servile, self-hating humanity. Those who declare pride inherently evil are doing the bidding of the Christian religion and its goal of transforming all into self-hating, subservient shells of human beings. Beings dominated by guilt, shame, and hatred of self. The Christian religion demands that humanity be weak, subservient, and submissive. The crushing of pride is an important step towards achieving that reprehensible end. The crushing of pride is essential if self-hatred, shame, and guilt are to successfully be imposed upon humanity. People loving themselves and being proud of their good deeds and grand accomplishments is a good thing. No dogmatism, no irrationality, no baseless religious doctrine can change that. Self-worth, even controlled self-love, is incredibly important, but the Christian religion would prefer that humanity have the deepest hatred of itself, so that it be weakened and brought to heel before the might of the tyrannical sadist that is the Maker. And ironically, all of those who label pride and self-worth as evil have the overwhelming arrogance to claim that the divine will and the ultimate being stands behind them. Those who label self-appreciation as immoral have the self-obsession necessary to view themselves as backed by the will of the most powerful being in existence and his divine word. Those who condemn pride and self-love as sin have the tremendous arrogance necessary to assert that their claim is supported by the ultimate divine authority. Perhaps it is not that they oppose pride. Perhaps it is that they desire a monopoly on its worst excesses.